Hello, everyone. So I'm gonna make this one quick. I just wanna kind of share my thoughts on the gay marriage bill that got passed in the Senate uh, into the House. If you didn't know, there was the House. I think like a couple months back, they passed a pro gay marriage bill called the Defense. No, that's the one that is going to get repealed. Defense of Marriage Act is the one that's gonna get repealed if this one passes. What is this? This one's called the Respect for Marriage Act. If the Respect for Marriage Act gets passed, the Defense of Marriage Act gets repealed because the Defense of Marriage Act is pretty much, bigoted, for lack of a more kind term. Yeah, they just doesn't recognize gay people that get married. Gay marriages. That's the big thrust of it. Like with the Defense of Marriage Act, I think like the federal government wouldn't tribute whatever straight marriages benefit from as a married couple. A gay married couple will not benefit with the Defense of Marriage Act. Like whatever federal benefits you get as a married couple under the Defense of Marriage Act, you would not get that. Only straight married couples. So with the Respect for Marriage Act, it is uh, it is recognized at the federal level. I think, as far as I understand it. Anyways, so a few months back, because of what the conservative judge in the Supreme Court said about revisiting the gay marriage decision from 2000 and what year was it? Like 2013, maybe 14, 2012, somewhere in that era. The Supreme Court decided, I think it was a 5-4 decision to say that it was in this discriminatory, unreasonably discriminatory to not recognize gay couple as a married couple, to not let them get married and all that. I think married, yeah, but like they could get married at the state level, but at the federal level, I don't think they were being recognized. Anyhow, after that backwards decision on Roe v. Wade, that allowed the states to ban women from getting an abortion. After that decision, Clarence Thomas, the conservative judge, he said some backwards ass statement about revisiting. I think it was the Dobbs decision. I think it's called. Was it Dobbs? I can't remember the name of the decision of the Supreme Court decision that allowed gay couples to get married and be recognized at the federal level. He said something about revisiting that case, pretty much hinting like maybe we will overturn that decision too, like we did with Roe v. Wade. He also hinted at revisiting some other decision that didn't criminalize sodomy laws, sexual acts, whatever, we don't have to talk about that, but apparently there was a decision back in the days. I don't know the name of that decision either. Everything I'm sharing here is surface level, so I just know about these Supreme Court cases. I don't know the name of them, but apparently there was a decision where you cannot prosecute somebody that engages in sexual acts that are not, whatever whatever the traditional form is that you call it. I don't want to use sexual terms right now, but there was a law that's saying you cannot you cannot criminalize somebody for having anal sex or having oral sex, yada yada yada. And apparently, Clarence Thomas wants to revisit that decision too someday. So just freaking theocratic authoritarianism. That's what it sounds like to me with that gentleman, with that guy. Um, among those, revisiting those, he talked about gay marriage, like revisiting the gay marriage decision. So as a reaction, the Democrats in the House passed this law saying called the Respect for Marriage Act. It passed the House. It failed the Senate. Like a few months ago, and recently, I think there was this week. I think it was this week where the Senate passed their own version of defense of Respect for Marriage Act. I think they renamed it or named it the same way, but the laws are different. I'm not sure what the House version entailed, but I think it just said it's legal. You recognize it. Period. You cannot discriminate. You cannot discriminate against a married gay couple. And pretty straightforward anyway. It's from what I understand, that version that the House passed first a few months ago is better than the one they just passed the Senate, which is likely. It passed the Senate and it's gonna go to the House, and it's likely to pass the House. But anyways, I'm hearing two contradictory stories on this bill that passed the House. I haven't read any articles on that specifics, but I have heard two different reports on it. You can barely call it reports really. It's I heard one version from Anna Kasparian from the TYT, the Young Turks YouTube news channel. And then I also heard a different version from Kulinski. They're both talking about the same law, but there's one fundamental thing that makes it sound completely different to me anyway. Like, not completely different, but I'm supportive of it either way. But actually, no, I'm not quite supportive. If it's the way Kyle Kulinski explained that law, I support it more than the way he explained it than the way Anna Kasparian explained it. Let me give you the most straightforward version, which is Kyle Kulinski, which I support more. The part that makes all the difference to me is where Kyle Kulinski says that at the federal level, gay couples are allowed to get married, but you cannot force like a religious institution or the church or religious people like that object to gay marriage. You cannot force them to marry a gay couple or celebrate a gay couple or stuff like that. And I'm okay with that because I don't support religious institutions trying to pass their religious impose their religious whatever dogma or doctrines into our government. I'm a strong believer of the separation of church and state, and so I'm okay with that. Like, don't force the church should not be able to force the government to participate to pick a favorite. Pretty much, the government cannot be for Muslims or Christians. I think a secular government is the best government in those terms. and vice versa. The government should not be able to impose or mandate a church or ban any kind of religious practice or church practices. And short of, I don't know, we're obviously not gonna let a synagogue or a mosque or a freaking Christian church or Catholic church freaking go around murdering people or torturing people. Short of that, I mean, whatever, they should be able to practice their religious values and preach them and all that. Short of freaking, doing inhumane things to their members or whatever, or forcing them to do something. That's a different story. So, back to this Respect for Marriage Act that allows gay marriage. I'm okay with the way I support the way Kyle explained it. I don't know. I'm not saying Kyle supports it. This is just the way he explained it, and pretty much that was the crux of it with Kyle Kulinski, saying that under that law, I think it's likely to pass the House and Biden will sign it. But under that law is, yes, federal and state government, even city government, whatever government, you know, people's government. They're supposed to be a secular government. They have to recognize the Marriage Act. They cannot deny a gay couple from getting married, but you cannot force the church or the mosque or whatever religious institution. You cannot force them to marry gay people or stuff like that, or recognize them, whatever. I'm fine with that, honestly. Like, freedom of religion, to me, that's freedom of religion. I'm not religious at all, but people that want to view it that way, they feel that way. That you know, you don't think it's right to be a gay married couple, then yeah, you shouldn't force the church to recognize it. But the government needs to recognize it, because that's where it matters to me. The government, because the government is the one that has these benefits for married couples, and they should be able to extend them to a gay couple too. You know, so that's a that's a fundamental difference for me, and I think that will be the right way to go. Just so uh, religious, or not really religious, just freaking anti-gay people using religion as a cloak, like Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh. So they don't have an excuse, and they're still. If you go freaking follow these guys right now, they're still bitching about it. Um, it's not good enough for them that churches and whatever religious institutions that don't want to recognize organizations, whatever, they don't want to recognize a gay married couple. It's not good enough for them. They want the government to not recognize it either. They want the government to discriminate against gay couples. So, anyways, but setting that aside, I think it's good. Like, whatever, you don't want the freaking church. Sorry if you're a gay person and you want a Catholic church or Christian church or a mosque, whatever, to marry you and all that. Sorry if you can't get any luck. I don't know. Shop around, maybe. I'm sure there's religious organizations around the country that agree with you and support your right. But to me, that's what matters to me. The fact that I don't want the government to discriminate against people. The government is supposed to be for all of us, including gay people, and minorities and white people and men and women, yada yada yada. But so that's the way Kyle explained it, and I support that way. And the way Anna explained it, honestly, I don't know what makes it any better than what it was before the Supreme Court decision. Because if I'm recalling correctly, before the Supreme Court decision, actually no, there is one difference. I kind of take that back, but it kind of feels similar anyway. Before, like I said, before the Supreme Court decision, there were states already legalizing marriage. Democrat states, to be more precise. Mostly Republican states. They just don't, you know, anti-gay people, religious groups. It's a big chunk of the Republican base, so they gotta pander to those people or whatever, placate to them. So it was being legalized on a lot of Democratic states across the country. Republican states, they were resisting it. Republican run states, I should say. So, yeah, a lot of the states were recognized. So I think before the Supreme Court decision on this, on the gay marriage rights, before that, I guess I'm guessing gay couples were able to get benefits through the state, state benefits that for those states that recognized their marriage, they legalized it. But I don't think they were able to get federal benefits still. Whatever. I don't even know. Look, guys, I'm fucking married. I've been married for, how long have I been married? More than 10 years now. And I don't even know exactly what the difference is between getting married couples different benefits and a single person benefits through the federal programs, whatever they are. But I'm sure they're there. I'm just ignorant about that. But anyways, I support the way Kyle said it. The way Anna is putting it is saying that states can deny or decline to marry a gay couple, and that I'm not okay with. To me, it kind of sounds like what it was before the Supreme Court decision that allowed gay couples to be recognized to get. I think that was a big changer. Gay couples can get married anywhere in the country now, not just blue states where they passed it, but also they can get they were allowed to qualify. They will qualify for benefits for married people benefits. That was the crux of it, I think. And so now this new law is saying that from the way Anna explained it, Anna Kasparian, um, pretty much states that don't want to recognize it, that don't want to marry gay people, that they will be allowed to not do it. They will be allowed to discriminate pretty much. The only caveat it will be that let's say we live in Illinois right now, and let's say Illinois doesn't allow gay marriage, which it does, but it's just a hypothetical. But Wisconsin did allow gay marriage. I don't know if they do right now. If they do, I think they do, but I'm not sure. Anyways, let's say I'm a gay person. I want to marry a gay guy, my other significant other, and but the state of Illinois doesn't want to let me get married. Then me and this other person, we will be able to go to another state. That like we will be able to go to Wisconsin, assuming they would allow it. Get married in Wisconsin, then Illinois will have to recognize us. So that's what I'm saying. Like if a state doesn't want to, they are allowed to not to discriminate. I'm just gonna put it bluntly. To me, that's discrimination. They're allowed to discriminate against gay couples. Like they don't have to marry them. But if the gay couple goes to another gay marriage friendly state and get married there, they can come back to their home state, and their home state then has to recognize that marriage, which is kind of trashy, honestly. So I don't quite support that. I mean, apparently to people that know more than me, it's still an improvement, some measure of insurance to what Clarence Thomas said in the Supreme Court. So okay, but if what the way Anna Kasparian puts it, it sounds shadier than the way Kyle Kulinski puts it. I'm completely okay with the way Kyle Kulinski explained it. I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, if we want to honor that constitutional right that separates church from state, and respect do not respect in what do you call it, a religious establishment or something like that. Uh, to to show no favoritism to any religious institution, and to not force them, and to not don't try to ban religious practices. I think that's the best approach. Religious institutions don't have to recognize it, but federal and state and city governments, they should recognize gay marriage. But from the way that Anna explained it, it doesn't sound like states are mandated to recognize or to allow gay people to get married, like give them a marriage license and all that. So I don't know who's right. It sounds like Anna's right, because I don't know. Anna kind of gave more. Anna Kasparian from TYT. Go look it up if you want to, and also look it up on under Kyle Kulinski. Says it's the most recent as I'm making this video right now. You'll easily find it. I think Kyle has like a picture of Ben Shapiro bitching about it, and he talks about the law on the, what do you call it, the thumbnail. And on the TYT thumbnail, I think you'll see the gay pride flag, the pride flag, the rainbow flag, and Chuck Schumer's photo next to it or something, side by side pictures. That's what their thumbnails look like. But I don't know if I get a chance I'll read on it, but as of this moment, it sounds like Anna's version. It sounds more accurate. I don't support that version. I support the version that Kyle Kulinski gave more, but it sounds like Anna's version is more accurate, and it just sounds more realistic, given how divided and how what's the word? How the Republican Party, just given how shackled they are to religious institutions, especially the Christian fundamentalist people. I'm talking about the elected Republicans. So, given those factors, I'm surprised they even voted for any type of marriage, pro gay marriage, legislation. So I don't know. Just from what I know from the surface, Anna's version sounds more realistic. Kyle's sounds a little too good to be true. So yeah, as of right now, I think Anna has the most accurate version. I'll be glad if she's wrong, and I think she'd be glad to be wrong as well. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think states should be able to deny a gay couple their rights to get married. The way Anna explained it, it sounds like that's the case. The way Kyle explained it, it sounds like that is not the case. Gay states are obligated to hand out a marriage license to a gay couple, just exempting religions or religious institutions. Talking about Christianity, because let's keep it real, we're a majority out of all the religious institutions. It's mostly Christians here. So, but I'm sure Muslims don't support gay marriage either. I mean, the Muslim church or the mosque, whatever you call it. So, in that terms, I think all religions will be fine. Like, yeah, we don't want to be forced to marry gay people and recognize them and all that. Fine with me. You want to be bigoted like that. But bigotry is not pretty, man. I mean, it's ugly, but under our First Amendment, you can't. I don't think we should be able to criminalize bigots. Just as a society, just kind of feel sorry for them, frown upon their bigoted views. But I'm not worried about them as long as they don't go around persecuting gay people or lynching gay people or any kind of minorities. I don't care. You can be a bigot and you don't have to recognize them as long as the government recognizes them. Like, that's where it matters, really, for their own sake, to get their benefits and visitation rights and whatever other rights you get as after you get married. You don't need religion for that. Sorry if you want if you want the church to recognize you as a gay person with your gay significant other. Sorry, but I don't think government should be able to force them. Hopefully, they will change their ways later on. But I think the federal government, state government, city government, county government, whatever, they should not be allowed to discriminate against gay people. So yeah, I'm hoping Kyle's right, but I think Anna Kasparian is right. We'll find out later.